Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Duseberg. This is Magic Means Business, and welcome to our studio, which is here in Stuart, Florida. And today we're going to talk about 3 things that your virtual holiday event really needs. I wanted to let you know that this last week, a lot has happened with Lockdown 2.0 apparently kicking off. A lot of people who thought maybe we're going to do some kind of a virtual holiday party, or a real life holiday party, suddenly decided that the only thing they can do is a virtual event. They've got some questions on how do I make it work. They've done this sort of Zoom fatigue thing that a lot of us have been in Zoom now for 8 months. And what can we do to make sure that your employees, or if it's your clients, are going to come to this event, they're going to have a great time, they're going to talk about it and feel like they really appreciate what you've done for them. So, like I said, my name is Mike Duseberg. I've been doing virtual events now for about 7-8 months. We've worked with financial advisors, we've worked with roofing companies, we've worked with healthcare companies. We've got a lot of diversity in our experience, and so what I want to talk to you about today is sort of our experience up to this point with what worked and what you can do at your event going forward in December, or if you want to do something in January or in next year as well. The first thing I think is really important, and that's the idea that whenever we host one of these events, it's a gift. It's not an obligation. So if this is an employee event that you're doing, understand that this is a moment where you're saying, look, you guys have had a rough year. You've had a lot of things that you've had to do to adjust and sacrifice, because remember, a lot of people are working from home at the same time that their kids are doing school from home, at the same time that their spouse maybe lost their job and is now walking around the home. And so there's a lot of stress and difficult things going around for people. And the point of the holiday party, I think, now has to be reaching out to your employees and saying, look, I know things are hard. With Lockdown 2.0, I just saw a picture of what Santa Claus is going to look like this year. And I remember last year, my son sitting on what I swear to God was either the real Santa Claus or Richard Attenborough's lap. I was so convinced it was Santa, I had tears in my eyes. And this year, it's going to be Santa from 6 feet away at best. And it's just going to be weird and different. A lot of us aren't going to get together with our families the way that we normally would. And so this is that gift opportunity, whether it's for your clients or whether it's for your employees, to reach out and say, look, things have been really hard. They're not what we want them to be. So let's really get together and have some fun. Let's do something special. As a business owner, as the person who's running the company holiday party, you could be the one that creates the moment that stands out in their holiday season this year by doing something really spectacular when just about everybody else is locking their doors and saying, this isn't going to work for me. So that's my first rule. Let's do something fun. Let's do something engaging. And remember too, because we were talking about that element of, the whole family getting together, let's do something that involves the family. A lot of times we've been talking about doing events at 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, sometime in that end of the day experience because it's a business event. If everybody's working from home, now could be an opportunity to say, look, your coworkers now include your kids and your spouse and everybody else that lives at home with you. So let's throw an event that involves all of you. And you can do something that starts at 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night. And it's a special party that you're throwing for them online. And I'm going to show you some ways to do that in a little bit so it doesn't turn into virtual networking, or it doesn't turn into sort of like everybody huddled around their laptop trying to have an event together. We're going to show you some ways to make this a special experience. So rule number 1, think of this as a gift for your clients. Think of this as a gift for your employees, if that's the kind of party you're going to do this year. Number 2 is the one that I think we've had the most success with, and probably the most important part, is to build anticipation before the event. We've all been talking about Zoom fatigue. I've already mentioned it twice, and I've only been doing this about 5 minutes. Really creating an experience. I was on a podcast in Spain about a month ago, and we said if you're going to get people to show up to this, whether they're employees or their clients, you have to give them the impression that something is going to happen on this event that is exciting and it's special and you can't miss it. And so we've done that a couple ways. I see some of our clients are here on the call today. They know that we send out video invitations. So we'll have an executive or a business owner that will speak to the camera and say, hey, I'm excited about this party. I know how your year's been. We're going to do something special. And then we turn that into a quick introduction into the magic show and the mind reading show that I do for my clients. So the employee says, whoa, what's going to happen during this? That's one way to build that anticipation. And whatever you do, you don't have to do magic. Just because you're here, I'm not saying that I'm going to try and sell you a magic show, because that might not fit. But whatever you do, creating that impression in the audience's mind that something special is going to happen. You don't want to watch CNN tonight. You don't want to watch the reruns that are on cable. You don't want to surf through those 3 things that you haven't seen on Netflix yet. You really want to watch this show that we're putting on, and we're putting it on just for you. And part of that anticipation, part of the gift, are these gift boxes that everybody's sending out as well. And I think that we underestimate how powerful these are. When we send them out, we've got now a huge list of things we can send. You can start with popcorn, or we've got these amazing cookies that weigh a ½ pound each, and we'll send a dozen of them. We've got frozen pizzas that we can send to their house. And so now you're creating, sort of for your guest or for your client, the experience that says, this is your whole night. You can have dinner with us. We'll enjoy dinner together. At 8 o'clock, you'll log into the show, and we'll do about 45 minutes of really fun stuff. And so our gift to you is a special night together with your family. And now that goes on the calendar. That says, this is going to be a special night the boss is doing for us. Yes, there's going to be, some comments about the business, but this is something really special for us. And that moves your event from a webinar, because, a lot of you are just going to use Zoom, and that's fine, to moving it all the way into, this is a thing that's happening at a special time. And for our clients, that's why they're getting, and I'm not kidding about this, nearly a 100% show up rate for the people that are invited to the show and agree to attend. Another part of that, of course, is our audience participation kit that we put in there. That's got some props that we're going to use during the show, so it's interactive between us and them. And it says right on it, do not open until the show. And that creates that sense of intrigue. What's going to happen? What are we going to do? Again, you don't have to use magic, okay? I'm explaining sort of how magic creates that sense of anticipation, that sense of excitement and fun that you can eventually use to make sure that people show up. So point number 1, it's a gift, don't forget that. And point number 2, create anticipation. Really create something in people's minds that something's going to happen and I got to be there. And point number 3 is the one that I think most of you probably came up for, and I think is probably the most important in terms of setting up a Zoom or an actual virtual event that works. And that is this important idea that I call structure and focus. I think one of the reasons that virtual events don't work, one of the reasons that people get frustrated and get Zoom fatigue, is that the event has no structure to it. A big thing that's going to happen, a lot of holiday event planners are going to say, everybody wear your worst Christmas sweater and your ugly Christmas hat and bring your favorite Christmas beverage and get ready to tell us your favorite Christmas memory story. And that sounds great. It really does. Unfortunately, in a Zoom environment, it is painfully boring. You will see people and they'll show up in their sweater and they go, wow, hey, Bob's got a funny sweater on and Mary's got a funny sweater on. And in the time it took you to go through the 9 people that are on here or the 25 people that are on your gallery view, you have experienced the whole Christmas party at that point. If that's the only thing you're going to do, and we're going to say, you could make it worse, and you could say, okay, everybody, tell us what your favorite Christmas beverage is. And now you have 25 minutes of cycling through all these people saying, I'm having eggnog, I'm having whiskey, I'm having water. That guy's fun. It's not really a party that goes anywhere, and it doesn't really have any flow to it. And I think when we talk about people's favorite holiday stories and things like that, you're basically sitting around listening to everybody else tell you their story so that you can tell yours. And that's the same reason that virtual networking doesn't work very well. There's no sense of this is going somewhere or this is something's going to happen. So I think having an event that's simply us getting together for a virtual happy hour idea, it's good, but it just doesn't really work in terms of actually getting to it. I mean, I know of people that have 80 people at a virtual happy hour. It could literally turn into 4 hours of just watching other people tell stories. It's not fun. And the idea is to make it social, but it just makes it long. So what I'm proposing is the idea of a tightly scripted, very smoothly transitioned event that you're hosting for either your clients or for your employees. Something that's going to last maybe only about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. We talked to some people today, they want to have a corporate roundtable town hall event that's going to go for about 45 minutes. And then after that, we're going to do about an hour's worth of holiday party entertainment. So it's a 2-hour event, but it's very tightly scripted. It runs very smoothly, and it creates the experience in the viewer's mind that says, I can't take my eyes off the screen because if I look away, I'm going to miss it. And that's what's going to make sure that people stay for the whole event. That's what's going to make sure that they stay engaged. And of course, that's what makes sure that they get the jokes and they have fun as well. So basically, I'll walk you through a very simple version of what we've been doing for our clients. It's very easy, and you could take literally any form of entertainment if it's a scripted show, and you can stick it right on top of the plan that I'm going to give you right now. The first one is to open the show with an MC. I think at the start of everything you saw, I had a big screen with a countdown clock on it. It's extremely important. I was watching the video as some of you were coming into the room, and you looked over and you said, it starts in 30 seconds, I can go get my water. And they take off, they get the water, they come back. When that clock gets to 0, the music starts, and everybody knows that this is the presentation has begun, and you can see people, I'm actually watching you from the video, you're looking right into watching it. So that's one of our first big points, is to have some kind of MC, some kind of opening that's going to focus the attention first. The next move from that is to always go to an executive or a host and have that person make their opening comments during a corporate holiday party. We can have a CEO do that. We can have it pre-recorded if you want, as long as he speaks interactively, and I can even interact a segment with him in some cases that we pre-record, and we just hit a button and it looks like we're having an opening segment between me and the executive, and everybody's sort of intrigued in this opening moment. The executive then introduces anyone if you want to do some kind of recognition. We've done award ceremonies through this. We've done a really cool thing where previously up to this event, talking about anticipation, they said, we're going to see who can throw the coolest dinner. And so all of the people in the staff that wanted to, that's important as well, the idea that this Christmas party isn't us obligating you to go a different length or to do extra. This Christmas party is our gift to you. If you want to participate, it'll be fun, right? So they said, everybody throw a dinner and show us a picture of it and shoot a movie of it, and we'll pick the best ones and we'll give them an award during the dinner. And the videos that we got were fantastic. One was a couple who cooked every kind of seafood you could ever possibly imagine in an absolutely amazing demonstration, and we replayed the video during the awards segment, so that was entertaining and engaging for everybody. Another one was a guy who's like Steven Spielberg Jr., who shot this incredible video of him and his wife apparently being stranded on a beach and making their own dinner out of what they apparently found, and watching that video as well. It was very cool and very entertaining for the audience. At that point, once we finish the recognition, he introduces the show. Now, like I said, in my case, it's magic, about 30 to 45 minutes of comedy magic, lots of laughs, lots of engagement, and it's a show, which means it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? It's going somewhere the whole time through. Whatever form of entertainment I think that you choose for this party, make sure that it's laid out in such a way that it has a beginning, a middle, and it has a clear ending. Because that's what's going to keep people engaged, because they always feel like this show is going something, this presentation is going somewhere. When we finally reach the end of the show, I have kind of a climactic moment in my show that is integrated so everybody knows, one, that wow, this is the ending. Two, they remember the event itself. We actually work some things about the customer in there. We work some things about sort of the perspective that the company has on 2021, we can build into that. And then I say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And we host it back to that executive. So we're going to bring the show kind of full circle to him or her. She comes up and she says, you know, thank you very much for coming. It's been a rough year. We hope you had some fun with us tonight. And that closes the event. And so the whole thing can run anywhere between, you know, an hour and 15 minutes. That's a nice, compressed, compact presentation that you can offer up to your employees as this nice kind of holiday experience that they're going to have at home with their family that they wouldn't be able to have because of COVID in 2020 and all these things that have happened. I really appreciate you coming out and joining us for this little video blog. Happy, if you would like, to have a quick consultation. Get on the phone with me. Not a selling experience, but just tell me what you're thinking about. Tell me what you're working on, and if I can find a way to offer you some help, if I can offer some vendors that might be able to help you get to where you want to go, I'm happy to do that. And you can always contact us through our website, which is at magicmeansbusiness.com. There it is. And on the very back end of that is magicmeansbusiness.com/contact is up in the right corner. You can schedule a quick appointment to talk to me. We'll write out a whole format for you if you want, so that you've got everything you need and you can feel confident. We've only got about 2 weeks until the 1st of December. And after that, the holiday season is really kind of going on. So let's kind of get together. Let's get this done if this is something that you want to do. And let's give everybody a great holiday experience in a year that might not have one otherwise.